And here we go, guys. We are officially into Potterthon 12, the first run of the event. It is HP1 PC any percent by none other than our favourite Frenchman, Flo203. Take it away, Flo.
Bonjour, hallo, guten Tag. Wait, no, that's not. Whatever. Almost. Anyways, HP1NE, yay! Happy to show this run. Every single year, I'm like, are we gonna have like new things to show? Because like it's getting to like it's becoming a fairly like optimized run in terms of like strats that we find. So I'm always like, we're not gonna find something new, and then we always end up finding something new. So I got a couple new strats to show. Technically new language as well, but the last thing I ran was 100%, and I didn't reinstall Swedish because Swedish is now the fastest language. But Norwegian is better anyways. Only saved like only loses like 13 seconds, I think. So it's fine. And the last thing is as I said during the intro, I'm gonna be punishing myself. Every single super drum that I fail. So for the people who don't know super drums, it's like frame perfect drums that give a lot of speed. I will explain that more in the run. And I go for roughly, I think, just a bit under 20 in the run that are in my route, in the any person route. Every single super drum that I fail, I will give $5 to Charlie. I'm capping it to 100. Because if I skill issue too bad, I will cry. And my wallet will cry too. But every single super drum that I fail, if it's like second try super drum, then I will give $5. If it's third try, I'll give $10, and so on. And I'm capping it to $100.
Very generous of you.
And talking about donation, we'll read them in the intro, I think. Probably a good time.
Yes. Normally we wouldn't have intro, but just to give us time to read the donations, we are going to have intro in this one because that also changed this year too.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna start a game. So yeah, normally I'm allowed to intro skip, but intro is best. So we're gonna watch intro. So if we're ready, I'm gonna give a countdown. So I can start the timer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Ingenting ved den stjernestøvde nattehimmelen tyder på at merkelige
Alright
og
then,
mystiske
we
ting
have had
snart skulle komme
very
til å
generous
skje.
donations. We're already nearly at $50, which is
Mens
crazy.
skumpene
Once again, you
sov
can
sin
donate to either
søteste
the
søvn,
Trevor Project
som
or
en
Doctors Without
kjempe
Borders
susende
when you
ned
make
fra
your
mørket
donation.
på en
The
svær
donations to
motorsykkel.
Doctors Without Borders, we have $10 from Peakine, leaving no message.
Kjempen,
And
som
Varian
heter
has donated $20 as well, again, leaving no message. And then for the Trevor Project, Mr. Mix, I should know how to pronounce his name. They are very popular within the community. Has donated $10 with no message, and Regnar has donated $9.27 with again no message. Just a reminder, guys, you can leave a message if you want the host to read out the message. HP1 loud apparently, but yeah, you can leave a message if you want the host to read out your message. But yeah, lots of cool stuff coming up. Remember to donate, and there are a couple of incentives for various runs throughout the event, which you can donate to as well. So yeah, I'll hand you back to our wonderful game master, Mr. Flo.
I missed intro. So yeah, for the people who don't know, the two big changes this year were intro skip. Apparently Ragnar put a message. It didn't go through, probably.
I will investigate.
But anyways, yeah, the two big changes were intro skip. We are now allowed to skip the intro. We don't just take the time save from not watching the intro. We add whatever time it takes for the intro to play. So in the region it's roughly 2 minutes and 8 seconds. In Swedish, which is the fastest language, it's 2 minutes and 17 seconds. And we just start from a save file that has already watched the intro. And we're off. And I killed the music already. And yeah, we have a couple new tiny discoveries that I'll try to point out when we get to them. First, we're gonna... A tutorial actually has a brand new strat. It has a new strat that I will not be going for because it's just actual madness. But we first do a backwalk. In the first few frames where the game loads, the map loads, you can input a back, or you can input some movement inputs. And if I input a back, if I make Harry backwalk, it will speed up the camera during this cutscene that I'm watching, which can save up to 2 seconds, I think, here. And I'll be backwalking through a couple other cutscenes too. So we have to follow Ron. And we're gonna get to tutorial. So this cutscene is like theoretically a place where, well, not theoretically, we don't have any skip for it, but if we could jump past this cutscene, this wall right here actually opens if you just walk in front of it. There's a category called high jumps, where you can increase Harry's jump height, and we can jump over the cutscene trigger, and then we can walk through that wall. We cannot do that in this category. We've tried to like jump into walls and do some kind of crazy stuff, but just nothing really works, sadly. So we still have to watch that cutscene. First glitch of the run, brightness boosting. At this point, I think everyone knows what brightness boosting is, but Harry grabs a ledge, you change the brightness doesn't change, but Harry boosting the ear. Crazy tech. Now I'm gonna do a little boost here. Just skip over a cutscene trigger with Peeves. So that skips an entire cutscene with Peeves, which is nice because we don't watch a cutscene. Not nice because we skip on getting some beans. Which we need for a trade with Fred and George. Also, first super jump, I got it. I don't lose $5. Second one, and I lose $5. If someone can keep track of the amount of super jump that I missed, so yeah, for anyone who missed it, every super jump that I'll fail, I will give $5 to charity. So we're at 1 right now. I don't have a counter anyway. And here, and I failed the multitask. So yeah, the trade normally, so we skipped over some beans, which we need 25 for this trade. Luckily, the devs were nice, because it is possible to miss the beans, technically in the very first room of the game that has beans, which would soft lock you. But the devs were nice and added 4 backup beans on the bookcases that you saw, that I collected, and we used those backup beans to skip the cutscene with Peeves. And still be able to do the trade. So what I tried to do there was called multitask. It's actually the only instance. There are 3 ways to do multitasking. And multitasking is essentially you can move during a cutscene where the game normally does not let you move. And we have 3 known ways of doing that. The first one is getting a ledge grab in the cutscene, which is like super situational. It's like the only one we have in the run at the start of intro. I tried to climb while starting the dialogue with Fred. Triggering 2 cutscenes at the same time, which I'll do in Flipendo. You'll see when I get there. And I would say the most common, getting a damage in the cutscene. And that just lets you move while the cutscene is playing, which saves a bit. So, spell drawing. Not much going on. We are forced to do the first round. We can fail all the rounds after. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm completing the first one, and going to fail the second one. normally you have 4 rounds total. But after the first one, I can just fail the second, and it will skip the third and fourth round. And then we get into the first spell challenge for Panda.
Do you have a moment for a quick donation?
Yes! Go for it.
So I have managed to find Ragnar's text, Spotify's being weird. Ragnar said, in honor of Potterthon 12 and its amazing people who contribute and help to have this amazing project happen. Thank you, Ragnar. We appreciate you. And there is a $20 donation additionally from Variant, which says, it appears that you can indeed send messages with donations with a smiley face. Which, for some reason, that one did show up in the back end. So I'm a bit confused why I don't know. Tiltfi's being weird. If we say there's not a message on your donation and there is, just let us know and we'll read it from the main page. But yeah, that's the current state of affairs. And we're at 70. Oh, whoa! I just saw that go up. What just happened? What on earth just happened? We also had a $5 donation from Acute360 with no message, and we just had a $50 donation from Anonymous to Doctors Without Borders, bringing the total up to $124.27. Thank you guys so much for your support so far. It is very greatly appreciated, and will go to help a lot of people who really need that support from both sides of the campaigns. So yeah, thank you everybody for your generous support.
Alright, and I got the first super jump on the barrel. It was a really weak one that barely saved any time. I failed the second one, so we're at $10. I failed the first one, we're at $15. And I failed the fourth one, we're at $20. Hopefully someone keeps track of that. Alright, now I'm gonna try to do a multitask, trigger the switch cutscene and nearly headless Nick at the same time. Gonna grab the save book. Just try to not mess this up. I'll try to focus for a little bit. Okay. No. I think I messed it up? Maybe? Normally I use a timer for this, which I kind of forgot because, you know, I'm using a timer for Potterthon. So I think that does not work. Worst case scenario, I can actually just use the Potterthon timer. Doesn't have millisecond, but it's gonna be fine. Yeah, hopefully this one is fine. Maybe not. Okay. Guys, it's fine. Where is Harry? Where is Harry? Where is Harry? Harry is here. Alright, third try. Alright, surely this works. Timing in my head was absolutely perfect. And if not, I might do some dark magic. Because I kind of forgot about putting a timer here. Okay. I'm gonna do one more try. And if I can get this, because I'm dumb, I will do some dark magic.
Does dark magic come with a penalty?
I guess I can add $5 to the account. Alright, dark magic, close your eyes real quick. Nothing to see here.
$25.
It's just a weird thing of the multitask. It just kind of, like, you know, the camera just gets a bit messed up. And there we go. We got the multitask. Let's go. So, what I was meant to do here, well, what I did, of course, it's exactly what I did, was, yeah, triggering the cutscene with Nick, Flipendo switch at the same time, nice ledge grab, which lets me move during it. But the camera gets stuck because it's a sort of like side effect of certain mod stats, so I have to walk blindly to the crawl cutscene. Which then gives you back the camera. A little bit of platforming, some brightness boosting, so I can skip a cycle here. Normally you have to trigger cycles with platforms, but by doing a boost you can skip an entire cycle, which saves a lot of time. And a wall walk, which is I partially clip on collision of the wall. I think that's how it works. And you can walk on them. So pretty big glitch in HP2, also in HP3, but in HP3 we never use them. And there are barely any wall walks in HP3, I think. Now we're almost through Flipendo. We have to kill 5 gnomes, stun 5 gnomes, kill them. Not yet, at least. And we're through Flipendo. So this is the only ending cutscene that you will see for a spell challenge. We have a skip for every single cutscene at the end of challenges. That cutscene we can actually skip, it just softlocks the game. If we do a spell cast right before we trigger that cutscene with Carl that you just watched, it cancels it completely, but we have no way of finishing the level. Because the trigger to load this broomstick practice that we're starting is tied to the cutscene. Now it's time for broomstick practice. So Quidditch will be really quick and really simple. That is not the case for broomstick practice. Broomstick practice, we have to fly through all the rings. Well, technically you don't have to, but it's faster to do so. But the controls for the broom are special. Takes a lot of getting used to, because Harry in this game, the controls are very tanky. And it's also slightly tanky for flying. So ideally, I want to be holding acceleration the entire time, except for one ring that has an extremely tight turn. Which is going to be during orange rings. Which is right here. And then the rest of the lesson, I'm just going to be holding acceleration the entire time. Non-stop. So yeah, this is a place where you can lose a lot of time and it snowballs really quickly because each ring that you miss loses about 3 to 4 seconds. And you can see there are a lot of them. Are kind of hard to get, especially during these turns here. So we got through and we didn't miss a ring. Now, next level. Sadly does not have a Superdome, so I cannot lose money. I think. We're at $20, if I recall correct. How many did I fail? 1, 2, 3?
Yes, we are at $20.
Okay.
And can I quickly pop a donation?
Yes.
We have a $11.70 donation from the wonderful Chloe. I'm just checking to see if there is a message. There is not. Thank you, Chloe, for that donation to the Trevor Project. That brings our total up to $135.97.
Time to draw Halamora, or at least pretend to. You'll see why I say that. That did not look very correct, but apparently it's fine for Hermione, so it's also fine for me. So this is actually, this was a strat found by a runner who's not really too active anymore. His name is Artful. He figured out that you can just draw a circle in the middle and it counts. Usually we would go like on the bottom, you know, pretty much do the intended and just fail at 50%, but this just makes it quicker and easier to draw the spell on. And now, It's gonna be a sequence of skips. This is gonna be a bit complicated to explain, but essentially I'm just gonna be chaining multitask, just triggering 2 cutscenes at the same time over and over. So I kind of need to do this because I do not remember the newer setup. Actually, it doesn't save time in the region, so it's fine. So I triggered a secret. And the Hermione cutscene at the same time, which let me move during it. This delays a cutscene with Hermione in front of the classroom, so I entered a bit too early. That's fine. This can let me enter in the classroom and then trigger Hermione's cutscene. Now I can move during this cutscene here, and there is a trigger in front of Flitwick. I missed it again, so I didn't have audio. Don't worry about it. Okay, there we go. There is a trigger in front of Flitwick. There we go. This trigger takes you to the next room. Now, obviously, we're still in the sequence, like, you know, we still triggered the first cutscene that starts this spell drawing, so I still have to do it. But while I do that drawing... that's fine. While I do that drawing, I can cast Wingardium on this block into the next room. And that lets me unlock my camera a bit earlier, and that will let me start moving in the challenge a bit earlier. Yeah, this is fine. So yeah, this entire sequence essentially just almost negates entirely the time loss that you would normally get from completing the spell drawing, which is pretty nice. And now we can play Wingardium. Harry has a really strong head, so I can just drop a block on his head, and if you're lucky sometime, it will clip through the gate, like so. Weirdly enough, it does not work on the other gates. Like the collision is slightly different or something. Not entirely sure. So we just have to open the gate. I need to just set this up again. And here we have a big boost where I'm gonna grab the save book, because if I fail it, I will cry. Okay, I'm gonna try this version, which is a little bit harder, but a bit faster. Failed it, that's fine. Actually, I don't want to reload the save. Let's try it again. If I fail it too many times, I'll do the easier version. There we go. Gigantic boost up to the end of the challenge. And this spellcast here was actually pretty important. Just like in Flipendo, you can cancel the last cutscene. In Flipendo, it's a soft lock. In this instance, the trigger to skip Wingardium is right at the end, like on the door. So we can make use of that. And now one of the new strat that I messed up. That's okay. I have another new strat to show, not an issue. What I was meant to do is kill Peeves. You can stun lock Peeves by casting repeatedly on him. And then Peeves walks away, or like flies away, I guess, and you can use Peeves flying away to damage yourself and do a boosting attack. Because you can also do brightness boosting with damage in this game, unlike HP2. Nice. Okay, that was also one of the new skip, and level skip. So I skipped over 2 cutscenes here by jumping around the trigger. One was the owl, also not a super jump. I'll explain after. So hopefully I don't fail that. Otherwise another $5. Saving $5, but don't worry, there's a super jump coming up right after. Yeah, the first cutscene that I skipped by jumping around it was the owl that Hermione sends you to tell you, hey, hurry up, you're late, we're going to herbology. Which is only like a 3-second cutscene, but the Neville one is actually like a 20+ second cutscene. So yeah, out of the castle, this big super jump I did, it's called the Save Book Super Jump, and it skips over the Malfoy boss fight. And I super jump, let's see how long it takes. This one I actually have to retry it. First try, saving $5 again.
Rude.
Sorry. Okay. Well, I can super jump. I can't brightness boost. Gonna chain a second boost here to go into herbology. Well, normally you have to go through a gigantic maze here, but we can just kind of skip all of that by doing this boost here. And we land towards the end of this level. And now it's herbology time. So, Incendio. We are gonna draw an onion. And you'll see why I say that. Look at this beautiful onion that Sprout is gonna draw. This is not Incendio. So, same thing as the last 3 spell drawing we did. We get to 50% and then we fail the rest. Also, every single voice line is random, so you can lose a little bit of time here and there to like potentially bad voice lines. But on the course of an entire run, you're not gonna lose much, thankfully. So she's like, yeah, interesting way to draw Incendio, but you fail. But it's fine, still good enough. Now we're gonna head deeper into the greenhouse. And gonna go for a strat that actually isn't new, but I didn't used to go for that in runs until someone recently. I'm gonna try to do a 3-frame jump into a damage boost. I'm gonna cast on a spiky bush and try to jump with a 3-frame window to get hit and boost over a cutscene trigger. Here. And I got it. Nice. And I go back to this plant because I want to get hit. Casting on this plant, killing it, triggers a cutscene, and if I get hit right before it, I can start moving it a little bit earlier. Now heading on to the second part of Incendio. Well, the end of the first part, really. There's a second map. There are 2 maps for Incendio. Another super jump coming up here. We'll see if I get it. And I found it. It's another $5. So yeah, anyone who's nice trying to cast on the switch, the collision of the switch is a bit extends outside of the gate, which is why I can do this, and then I can move a bit earlier. So yeah, again, for anyone who missed it, any super jump that I will miss, which is a frame perfect jump that I do about 20 times in a run, I will give $5 to charity. So, second part of Incendio, the second map. Whoops. Triggering this cutscene and boosting out of it immediately after. Here, I'm gonna cast on both Flipendo switches, which causes the door and the gate to open at the same time. And also I gain movement a bit earlier, which is nice. We're gonna have one more super jump towards the end of this, but first we're gonna boost all the way up here. Brightness boost. Normally I wanted to make it a little bit further, but got a bad boost badly. And open this door here. Grab the frog here to avoid eventually dying. Shouldn't die, but just in case. I would like to not get stuck on the corner. Final boost here to skip another maze. And now we're towards the end. Normally, also, another super jump here. Got it? No $5? Sorry, I'm still rude. Canceling the cutscene here by casting on the trigger, and the trigger to leave is right there. Another Super Drum coming up. This one, I have to retry if I fail it. I did not fail it. I am sorry, I am too good. Okay. Bit arrogant. I will chill. Alright, that was Incendio. So yeah, the flipping the switch, you saw me cast 4 times at the same switch. The game only looks for Harry casting on any of the switches, so you can just cast on the same switch 4 times, and it opens the door. And yeah, the Super Drum here was both to travel a little bit faster to this cutscene here, but also to skip over cutscene trigger with Hagrid, which saves around 9 seconds, I think. There's another way to do that skip, which doesn't require a frame perfect jump. It's only like 3 seconds long. So Neville, you stole Neville. Malfoy stole Neville's Remember. Boohoo. We're gonna bully Malfoy. That was quick. Normally this fight takes a lot longer. Obviously, if you know the directions where to run into Malfoy, this goes a lot quicker. Normally, you have like an entire level, you go through a cave, you go through a forest and everything, but we can skip all of that by having some tight movement. And now we're going to give Neville his Remember back. And now he remembers where he left Trevor. You gotta run, otherwise his toad is gonna die to being eaten by a plant. And yeah, my McGonagall is like, hey, that's not cool what you did. You shouldn't fly, but holy, you fly so good. You go next Quidditch match. Okay, thanks. Because rules do not apply to us. My Norwegian is so good. I actually learned it just for this. Trust me. Another Super Jump? I actually forgot about that one. And I failed it! Another $5. And another Super Jump at the start of the year. I also forgot about that one. I missed it. Another $5. Now, gigantic boost to skip the entirety of Forest Edge. This one is a bit more special. This one actually is... This is a bit weird, but if you're boosting while there's no floor below Harry, and there are also like other weird conditions, I'm not sure. If you boost under a certain condition, Harry will start leaning forward, which actually lets you boost forward then. Because normally Brighton's boosting is only limited to like boosting like upward, and like you get a bit of forward momentum, but it's not much. But leaning forward like that, we can boost forward, which is really helpful. And now, the biggest downtime in the entire run, which is going to be Fire Seed. So, Hagrid tells us, you know, he got this egg, and he needs some Fire Seed to hatch it. But we don't really want to do that. We want to chill and look at Hagrid's pig. His name is Steve. You'll see in a bit. Because the pig is very cute. So yeah, we're gonna wait until Hagrid is, you know, done talking. Yeah. And yeah, don't worry, Hagrid, we'll get the Fire Seed. So now we gain Hagrid's trust. He closed the door to make sure we won't go back, but we will go back by doing a brightness boost here. And now we're gonna wait for Hagrid to come back. So we tricked him. Now Hagrid thinks that we got the Fire Seed, of course. And now we just watch the pig on the left for 2 minutes. His name is Steve. The doxy that we boosted from is Benny. Normally you well, not normally. In old routes, we actually brought Benny with us to get hit, and you can move around here. Sadly, it's slower now, so yeah, we only get to see Steve. But yeah, you can say hello to Steve. He always likes to see new visitors. And yeah, we're gonna stay there for about 2 minutes. So what is going on an actual more technical level? The trigger to end the fire seed level is in front of the hut as soon as you walk past that door that I, walked through. It activates. So we boost it back to hit the trigger. Problem, this cutscene here cannot end if Hagrid doesn't do a little walk towards his hut. Normally what spawns Hagrid is a trigger right at the end of the fire seed level. But obviously we skipped all of that, we skipped the entirety of fire seed, so now Hagrid is stuck inside his hut because he never spawned in front of the hut. And he's running against the walls trying to reach this location in front of his hut, which he obviously cannot. Harry cannot no-clip. So after 2 minutes, the game is like, okay, Hagrid is taking too long, so just force spawn him in front of the hut. Our theory is that the 2 minutes is roughly how long it would take Hagrid if he could, walk through walls. How long it would take him to reach this location. But that's why we're waiting for so long here. If you really pay attention, you will see Hagrid for, I think, a single frame on the very bottom left of the screen. You turn on your, oh, there we go. It was right here. And yeah, that's the entire level. So yeah, we're gonna use our magic fire seed. That sounds very wrong. I'm sorry. Anyways, Yig is gonna hatch. And Norbert's here. Forget what I said. We found a fire seed bush and yeah. Anyways. And now Hagrid gives us a flute, which we're only gonna use once in the game. On the PS2 version, you actually use that twice? Twice or 3 times? Twice, I think. Once to make an owl go to sleep, and another one to make Fluffy go to sleep. This version, we're only gonna use on Fluffy. Alright. And time for our first Quidditch match. Which is going to be against Slytherin. So the cutscene is like 80%. The cutscenes in this are like 80% of the Quidditch match. Probably 95% actually. Because you'll see while this is the best Quidditch out of the first 3 games of the PC trifecta, this is also the quickest one. Because we're just gonna catch the snitch in the first 10 seconds. So we have to wait for, Lee Jordan to explain the rules, because we don't know how to play Quidditch. And now we know how to play Quidditch. So time to play a Rumpeldunk, which is Quidditch in the origin. You couldn't tell. We're gonna kiss the snitch, and grab the snitch. And that's it. Oh, I got a good line too. There's a little bit of RNG with, Lee Jordan. Sometimes he gives you a bad line. But we got lucky. Anyways. So first Quidditch match, we got a second one later on, which is gonna be about the same length. And then we'll have the flying keys at the end, which you'll see. Super jump coming up. We're gonna go up the stairs, then back to kinda where we were before in 2nd floor, but actually not. So this you saw the entry hall before, the entrance hall here. But every single map we go through is a different map. So while this looks similar to the entrance hall after intro, or when we did the fight with Peeves, this is a completely different map every single time that we go through. Alright, super jump here. I'm gonna walk into the wall here and attempt to super jump. And I got it! I'm actually really surprised because this is like an infamous super jump that I just keep failing in runs. But of course, Potterthon, I just get it first right. Now we're gonna go up the stairs, back into the Flipendo classroom. Except this time it's gonna be for Lumos. We're gonna skip another cutscene trigger here. So standing on the edge of the cutscene trigger and clipping onto an invisible wall, or sort of. And here, instead of triggering the cutscene to start Lumos, I'm just gonna, you know, I clip over stuff and I skip everything. And the cutscene to enter Lumos is right in front of the classroom, so we don't have to learn Lumos or, you know, anything. This is actually a trick you can do in Flipendo. Unfortunately, in Flipendo, they put a trigger to get into Flipendo behind the door and not in front of it. In the demo version, it's actually also in front of the door. We just got really unlucky for the main game. And now, I could do a super jump to skip this cutscene, but there is a better strat, and also because I want to save my money, wink wink. But the jokes aside, there is a fast strat where I open this door, and because I activated this cutscene, I have this cloud right here, and I can boost from it. And we'll see if I still remember how to do this. Alright, we failed it, that's fine. I'm gonna use a boost to land on a platform that's normally like right at the end of pretty much the first room. And I'm failing it again. It's okay, don't worry. I got all the time. Thankfully, I'm not giving $5 per boost fail, because this could take a while.
When you have a moment, can you explain boosting a bit? Because I think we have a few people in chat that are a bit new to the community and are a bit unsure about what exactly you're doing.
Yes, so brightness boosting is a bug, not just of the game, of the game engine. Essentially, I don't know the technical reason of why it works, but if you change the brightness here, this is my brightness slider. I used the glitch to make my first pause screen the option, that's why it's all messed up. But if you change the brightness while Harry is climbing, or while Harry takes a damage, so here this is while I'm climbing, Harry starts boosting in the air. I'm not sure why it works. Some more knowledgeable people know why it works, but yeah. This is essentially how the glitch works. I'm gonna use it again here, but this time with a damage. We're towards the end of Lumos. So I'm gonna use this Doxy here, this Pixie, Doxy, however you want to call it, to boost through the doorway behind me. And now I'm gonna cast, whoops, what am I doing? There's the level end trigger right at the end of Lumos, and you can actually cast a spell on it. It's something really interesting about the certain triggers, not all of them, can be triggered by any actor, and an actor in the game is essentially anything that moves. And since a spell is an actor, you can just cast a Flipendo on the loading zone, and it just triggers it. So that skips having to go all the way to the end of Lumos, which obviously saves a lot of time. And now we're heading on to potions. Also, if you've played the game, you might have noticed normally you're not supposed to be able to like cast spells like that out of nowhere, because I didn't have a target. Normally, you can only cast a spell if you have a target. Otherwise, Harry just like, you know, does a random cast and nothing happens. That is true, except if a Doxy is chasing you. So you saw the Doxy is obviously these flying insect things, whatever. If you, the devs made like this mechanic called, we call it Doxy storage, where if a Doxy is chasing you, you can cast the last spell that you casted regardless if there's a target or They just made that so it would be easier to like kill the doxies because the spellcasting in this game is a bit messed up. But that makes it so that we can actually cast Flipendo with other targets at the end of Lumos. Another Superdome here. And I failed it. That's another $5. I also forgot about that one. Thankfully, I got a few other first try earlier in the run. Alright, grabbing the save here. Get a little boost here. And skipping the entire puzzle with the platforms and everything. And another boost here. This one skips. This one doesn't save too much because we have another skip for this. But this skips like trigger all the platforms having to go up and everything. I'm gonna grab the save book just in case I fall down. And cast on this switch. And actual in-game mechanic, while a platform is moving, if you run and jump, you can see here my jumps are like a lot further than like normal jumps. That's because I can keep the momentum of the platform while it's moving and combine that with hurry speed. So I get the speed of the platform plus hurry speed, and I can cross gaps that normally I wouldn't be able to. Here, I'm gonna kill all the gnomes. They always move at the same position. And here, another Superdome coming up. A bit of a weird one. I'm not even sure if I can get it. Oh, failed it. It's another $5. This is a bit of a weird one. I essentially try to put Harry in the air. While the cutscene triggers, Harry stays in the air. And while he clips down, if I jump on the first possible frame where he clips down, I can get a Superdome out of that. So now I'm gonna try to do a big boost here. There we go. Another lean like we saw in Forest Edge earlier. I'm gonna die. Yeah. I missed a boost. That's okay. This is a pretty quick death. I'm gonna respawn right here. Alright, so a boost to land on the arch here, and another boost here. Try to lean forward, and go all the way to the end of here. I almost fell it again, Jesus Christ. Now we grab the save book here. And we're gonna go towards the end, avoiding the Bloody Baron. So this Lumos platform, I don't think... No, I can't do it. Okay. Normally, you can... It's kind of weird, you can preserve the lean until a bit longer. And also, like, skip that part of, like, landing on the chest platform thingy. But I wasn't able to. It's okay. And now, towards the end, just regular platforming. We have a tiny skip here. Like, the very tiny skip you'll see. I'm gonna cast on the edge of this block. Not in this direction. To reach this platform, and I fail. And we have another Superdome coming up. Can I cast on the right direction? Okay, that was not the strat. We'll just say it was the strat. Superdome. Got it. Another one, and I failed it, and another one, and I failed it. So that's +2, plus $10. My wallet is crying, but it's okay.
Do we have a moment for a $30 donation from Piccolo917, donating $30 to Doctors Without Borders, and also choosing the image that Matthew's desktop will be. So thank you for that donation, and Piccolo, if you want to DM me that image, preferably in good time so that we can get it approved by everyone, that would be awesome. But thank you for the donation. That brings us up to $165 total, which does, I believe, take us past the amount we raised for Potterthon 2 and Potterthon 3. The next milestone is Potterthon 7 Part 2, which is $195.
And now we're heading into Troll, where we have not the last Superdome. I think the last 3 super jumps before Voldemort. So it's not gonna be much. 1 second. Sorry. Okay, there we go. So yeah, we have 3 super jump here. First one is gonna be on a tiny set of stairs. So first I'm gonna... So the beams are supposed to lead you to like know where to jump, but I don't need that. Alright, super jump failed. $5. Another one on the stairs here. Failed it again, another $5. I'm bad. Can do frame perfect jumps. And we have one last one until Voldemort, I think. I hope at least. No. And I failed it! Another $5. Triple fail, streamer is bad. So yeah, something that you might have not noticed as a kid, the colors of the bean indicates when you need to jump. So the blue beans means, you know, nothing. Green bean, jump is coming up. I think they're green. And a purple one means you have to jump. But I don't think any kid realized.
You know what, I think a kid did realize though.
Sorry, what?
You know what, I think a kid did realize.
Yeah.
That Caramel is amazing. And speaking of Caramel, thank you for the $9.34 donation to the Trevor Project, bringing our total to $175.31. Thank you guys, you're amazing. We're absolutely like killing this. I'm loving it. Well, I thought that was a good transition, Chef.
That was a smooth transition.
Smooth like Caramel. Back to the run.
And a bit of another scroller. So yeah, you're supposed to protect Ron. So I would like to let Ron get hit. I swear, I promise. But unfortunately, if we don't help him, if Ron gets hit, it will delay the club getting on top of the troll's head. Because yeah, right now we're waiting on Ron to bring the club's troll above its head to drop it and stun the troll. And every time Ron gets hit, it just delays that by a little bit. And yeah, normally you have to cast the objects that the troll throws at you like I'm doing right now. But at the beginning, since the troll does not throw very fast, you can actually snipe all of them. And that's it for troll. And now we're gonna head onto our second Quidditch match, which is gonna be just about as long as the first one, so you know. Sorry, this is gonna take a while. Hope you don't mind too much. It's probably the slowest part of the run. And after that, we'll head into Filch, which is by far the hardest level in the entire run. This is where, you know, once you get past the early game, which early game, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. Once you get past mid-game also has a lot of things that can go wrong. Filch is where runs go to die. Because the tricks are hard, and not only they're hard, every trick that you fail loses an insane amount. Pretty much every cutscene skip that you fail will lose like 10 plus seconds. And there's a really tight jump that can lose like 20 to 25 seconds. So more kissing in the snitch. I mean grabbing the snitch, of course. So yeah, the difficulty of certain tricks is like about the same to some of the tricks we have in Filch. But the difference is in early game, most of the time, the tricks that you're gonna fail, you only lose like 2-3 seconds per retry. In Filch, it's like 10 plus seconds on almost all of them. And if Filch catches you at 80 point, you restart on the last save book that you grabbed. Which, unfortunately, none of the save books are in the way. So I'm gonna grab some, obviously, still, since this is a marathon. But in an actual run, if you get caught by Filch, which we're gonna get really close to him in multiple occasions. This is just instantly run over. You lose like minutes. Yeah, you can lose time everywhere in this game. Early game, mid game, late game. But yeah, this is by far the worst.
Yes. Just a small plug, I guess. Recent HP1 tourneys have shown just how detrimental getting caught in filch can be.
Yeah. Well, this is and no matter the category too, because the strategies that we do, like the first two room, we're gonna have some cool boosts that you'll see that we obviously cannot do in glitchless. But the third room is identical, nearly identical to like all the categories, minus grabbing the beans obviously, but the strats are the exact same. So first, we're gonna do a boost here, and carry that boost onto the next room, and try to boost over a cutscene trigger. So this one saves about 10 seconds. Now I'm gonna manipulate Filch to get stuck on the bookcase here. Then boost on top of the bookcase and trigger 2 cutscenes at the same time. Like so. And another boost past this doorway to skip another cutscene, exactly like at the start. And we're through. That's only the first part of Filch. So there alone, you can already lose like 25 seconds. Third room, which is the exact same across all categories. We cast really close to the walls. We can only fail this spellcast twice, otherwise Filch catches us. And casting spells in this game is like pretty tight. Probably doesn't look like it, but it is. We're gonna go to the top here and do something that looks pretty scary, but we're gonna drop in front of Filch so that he gets out of the way when he can cast on the door. Like that. Cast on the switch and quickly walk away. You can see like he was really close to me, but I barely didn't get caught. And after that, we're through the part of getting caught by Filch, so biggest time loss, but we can still lose a lot of time to the next trick here. Normally you want to cast on the Flipendo switch and then on a gargoyle to spawn Lumos platforms, but instead I'm gonna clip into this wall and clip in another wall up here. So I failed it. So this is one of the hardest strats in the run. You only have a handful of frames for this. I failed it again. And yeah, each fail loses around 10 seconds because as you can see the setup here is pretty lengthy. And sometimes you get clipped out like that, sometimes it's out of your control, sometimes you get unlucky. I think the last one was my fault. Whoops. And this one failed as well. It's fine, I got all day. Except not, because I put an estimate, but I got all day, don't worry. Does this work? No? It's fine, I still got all day. Don't make me use some dark magic. I would like to not use more dark magic than I have to. I can try to show a cool boost actually. I'll only try it once. And I failed it. Okay. You can carry a boost up into the next room and land like towards the end. But it's really difficult, so just gonna do the regular strat, which is this really tight jump. I grab this ledge right here. And this is another strat that loses a ton. If you fall down here, thankfully Coney, another runner of this game, found a backup. It was originally looking for a strat for another category, but found a backup that loses a bit less. Normally falling down here used to lose like 40 seconds or something. But now we have another backup that only loses like 15-20 I think. Still pretty bad, but not as bad. And yeah, one last boost towards the end. Normally you have the part with like, you know, you have to flip the bridge, go through Filch one more time, Peeves appears, we skip all of that and go straight into the tower. And we give Norbert. And a failed try, well, we still have to get out. We go up the tower, now we need to get down the tower. Well, further down, I guess. So yeah, you can jump on the bridge to avoid Filch, and Filch reaching the location actually triggers a cutscene with Norris, but we can skip all of that by getting a bit ahead of Filch. And now this second part of Filch, there's going to be Norris as well. So Norris is the exact same as Filch. If she catches us, it's the same as taking a death. So it's just as bad as getting caught by Filch. Interesting strat here. I'm going to jump multiple times to lure Filch. The reason this works is because when you walk on carpet, Filch cannot hear you. But if you're walking on wood or stone, Filch actually hears your footstep. And by jumping repeatedly, by starting a jump from the wood and like repeatedly jumping, the game still thinks I'm on the wood, even though I landed on the carpet. So I can trick Filch into chasing me. Here, little weird jump, you get pushed by the lamp. This skips an entire cutscene with nearly headless Nick. And then we jump around here. This is mostly skipping platform. Now I'm gonna trick the game, cast and close this door at the same time. And now the door, if you pay attention, you'll see after anyways, the door opened. Normally it was supposed to close again. But now the door opened, so I'm not gonna have to open it again after. And now the mirror. And now if you pay attention, you're gonna see the reflection for a split second right here. So that's how they use the reflection in the game. You're not meant to see that. But because we do a backwalk, the camera turns a little bit too fast. Again, I mentioned like backwalking into cutscenes causes the camera to like move faster, which saves some time in a few cutscenes. And this is one of them. And that causes us to like just quickly see the reflection that we're not meant to. And also, Dumbledore spawning out of nowhere, I think is it's either a bug from the EU version or because Norwegian this cutscene is too fast. I'm not entirely sure. You're also not meant to see Dumbledore spawn out of nowhere, but that you know, you could probably figure that out. Alright, and now towards the end of Filch. And this is not the last run killer, but in an actual run, this is one of the biggest endgame run killer, I would say. Because we're gonna do another multitask. Except this one is fairly inconsistent. So first, gonna make my way up here to get into the last room. And we're meant to place 4 blocks on 4 switches, except the switches are a bit buggy. They actually changed that on later releases of the game, like to like regular Wingardium platforms, so it wouldn't happen again. But on this early version, the switches are really buggy, and sometimes they can push the Wingardium blocks like out of the platform. You can see here. Maybe that'll happen here. I don't know. Well, I turned my camera. Sometimes the Wingardium blocks just bounce like back from the switches. That's not meant to happen. But if you get that, you can recast on the block and gain movement. You can see here that happened here. If I do that on the very last block, I'll be able to skip 2 cutscenes, which saves around half a minute. But it's not too much out of your control, because the block physics in this game are like a bit inconsistent. Filch got stuck here, just gotta be careful. Why is he here? Must have messed up something, that was weird. Okay, hopefully that doesn't cause anything major. And I got it! And I failed it! Alright, that's okay, there's a backup for this. Hopefully I don't mess up the backup. This is just a little bit slower, like 10 seconds slower. So, this and this. There we go. And now I can trigger this cutscene. And now both cutscenes are playing at the same time. You can see the camera going back and forth. And that just skips the... Normally there's a long cutscene where like Fred and George, you know, they come out of the wall, they bring the elevator up. But we can skip all of that. And go straight to the end. And that's Filch. So, and now what do we have left? We have trials. The first like 3 are not really difficult. It's Fluffy, Devil Snare, and Chess. Fluffy, Devil Snare, and Keys, sorry. After that, we have Chess, which has a skip, which is not insanely difficult, but can lose a little bit. And the last one, Voldemort, which is the last like real run killer. We have a couple cuts and skips that we can go for. And after that, we have to fight Voldemort. Which the fight has like a semi-difficult strat, mostly a scary strat, because the spells from Voldemort, one of them, at the health that we'll be at, will be a one-hit KO. So we'll see how that goes. We actually have a Superdome coming up. I also forgot about that one. Thankfully, I kept the maximum to $100.
I'm starting to question your knowledge of this run, Flo.
I don't know. I forgot. Like, it's like I get there and then my brain remembers what to do, but if I actually think about the run, I just can't remember. So technically, there's one on the left here, but I said I would only go for Superdomes I normally go for in runs, which the first one is not even like that worse because the angle is horrible. This second one, however, is, and I missed it. Another $5. Another backwalk here. So most of these backwalks only save like a couple seconds. This one actually saves 9 seconds. There are 3 backwalks on the run that save 9 seconds. It's really important to not miss that one. And on to Fluffy. So Fluffy actually has a little bit of RNG. It's kind of weird. But all 3 hits, how quickly you put them to sleep, is not the same speed. You can see this is going like fairly slow. And then the next one here is going a little bit faster. And the last one is going to go down really fast. It is completely random which head is which. I actually got the best RNG here. But you normally have to do that in order. So slowest head, semi-slow head, and then fastest head. If your movement is really good, you can actually start with slowest head. You always have to start with slowest, but go fastest and second fastest. Which negates a little bit of RNG, which is nice. Another bug from this version, I could play the flute during this, but it's sometimes soft lock, so I'm not gonna do that. They patched that on the later release of the game, the US version. Devil Snare has a somewhat new strat, where I'm gonna try to not move and cast that, and try to free both Hermione and Ron from standing still. And I already missed. That's okay. Another Vine Cast. Okay, 2 extra Vine Cast. That's okay. Normally, the old strat, we would first free Hermione and go all the way to the left and free Ron. And get 1 Vine Cast. Or a Devil Snare Cast, however you want to call it. But yeah, we found out that by doing some somewhat precise like movement with your mouse, you can free both Hermione and Ron without moving at all, which saves a bit but is really precise. So flying keys, again, all the Quidditch matches, flying keys, everything is the same pattern every single time, so you just have to learn it. And here, tight turn. This is like the hardest pattern out of all the Quidditch matches, but it's still somewhat trivial. There's a lot of other RNG during these. Most of the time you don't get trolled, but sometimes the how quickly the key or the snitch goes in your hand is random. So sometimes it just doesn't go towards your hand. You just get trolled and there's not really much you can do. Alright, chess. I guess I'll go for the Superdome as well. Why not? Lose more money while we're at it. But there's a big Superdome here I can do. We land on the chessboard. If I fail it, I'll go for another skip. And I failed it. $5 more. Instead, I'm gonna go out of bounds like this. And jump over Invisible Collision and land right on the chessboard. And that skips the cutscene in front of the chessboard. Where Ron is like, I defeated a half of the pieces, and now the rest is up to you. And thankfully for us, the pattern is the same every single time here. So you just start on the right and then go full diagonal upright. You can even do like a different move for the very last move. So for the last move, I'm actually going to hold forward, and it's going to buffer a direction to the right. Saves a little bit of time on movement. And that's chess. And we got one last Superdome. This one, I'm going to be buffering it. So it's going to be a little bit easier, but it's still a tight Superdome. So first, we're gonna skip the potion minigame entirely by jumping on the platform here and jumping into the wall here and clip on it and walk on it. So that skips the fire and the entire minigame. And I have one last Superdome to reach the end a little bit quicker. I think that was good. Let's go. Not losing $5 more. Alright, and the last 2 boosts of the game. So normally... oh my god, it's not Snape! What? What? Anyways. Well, it's Quirrell. We're gonna... normally you're meant to push 2 blocks to like reach it, but we have boosted. So we're not gonna push any blocks. We're gonna instead grab this block and do a gigantic boost up to in front of Quirrell. Try to land into a ledge grab to not trigger a cutscene. I want to keep Quirrell on the map. Then he can still cast at me. And then I boost into another cutscene trigger, which saves around 40 seconds. And the trigger to start the fight is right in the corner here. And we get right into the fight. Now, as you can see, my health is not doing too good. I'm... with these spells right here that he's casting, this is not a one-hit KO. I can still take 1 hit. With the spells that Voldemort is going to cast after, the ones that target you and follow you, this is a one-hit KO. They deal a bit more damage. So I'm going to try to do a strat called Dense, where I keep doing circles like this to avoid the spell catching up on me. Normally, if you just hold back, the spell has time to catch up on you, but holding like side directions, exactly like that, you can dodge the spell. Nice, that's not what I wanted. I haven't done this in too long, pardon me. But yeah. Normally you do that 4 times. If you get a hit at any point, you just die. So this is pretty nerve-wracking towards the end. I'm gonna go for the safer strat here and just like hit the pillar 4 times. I'm just gonna do a single dance. And yeah, also something that you might have just noticed, we can use the side of the mirror to damage Voldemort. We don't have to be like exactly in the middle. Alright, so let's just do a single dance. And now I'm gonna go for the safer strat. And I messed it up. It's fine. I'm gonna go for the safer strat where you use the pillar to push Voldemort. So I'm standing in front of him so that he can stand in place and then I can push him later because Voldemort's position is based on yours. Here, time is coming up. Right here. Jeez. Bit of a mess, but hey. That's okay. I haven't played this game in too long.
GG's. And GG's to your wallet. That's $85 total that you are donating for your skill issue.
It's okay.
He has no excuse. It's the first one of the event. You shouldn't be tired.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, $85 going to good causes. Are you going to split that across both, or?
I'm not sure yet. I'll think about it. I'll see what I do.
He will think about it. But yeah, thank you very much, Flo, for an incredible run. Honestly, as ever, it's always a joy to have HP1 PC 80% at the event. I mean, it's kind of a staple at this point. And it's also cool to see how far the game has come year on year. Sadly, no main outfit this year, but who knows? Maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
Maybe
we'll
next
see.
year.
Or
We'll
a French
see.
costume next year.
But
wink, wink.
But you will be back, of course, because you'll be doing some free GBA later. And
that is correct.
Are you doing your? Oh, you're not actually doing any hosting. The head of hosting is doing 0 hosting. But,
let's go.
Yeah, Flo will be about in the background working on things across the entire weekend, which of course we're very grateful for. And also, I should mention, of course, Flo is using his PC to stream this entire event across the entire weekend. So we are extremely grateful to Flo for all of his hard work and his power usage, basically. So thank you, Flo, for that. We're now at $175.31. I want to take a quick moment just to talk briefly about Dr. Without Borders, because I feel like we've talked a lot in the past about the Trevor Project, because we've supported them for many years, but I don't feel like we've given Doctors Without Borders enough time to explain what they do. So I'm just going to read from their website now, provided by the wonderful Flo in our host guide. Doctors Without Borders offers medical humanitarian assistance to people based solely on need, irrespective of race, religion, gender, or political affiliation. Money can read. They're a team of doctors, nurses, logisticians, and other frontline workers are often among the first on the scene when people's lives are upended by conflict, disease outbreak, or natural or human-made disasters. And their goal, they say, above all, Doctors Without Borders' goal is to do no harm. They're committed to providing the highest quality medical care possible, no matter where they're working, and to acting in patients' best interest, respecting their right to dignity, confidentiality, informed consent, and to make their own decisions. So that is the incredible work that Doctors Without Borders, or MSF, are doing. Once again, supporting both Doctors Without Borders and the Trevor Project this year, and you can choose where your money goes. One of the desktop incentives has been claimed for Matthew. The other one for Dino is still to be claimed. That's on the Trevor Project campaign. So if you want to choose the image behind Dino's game for 7.1%, you can still do that. That run is tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. UK time. But without any further ado, I think that's all from me. So Flo, unless you have anything else to say, then we can head in. And coming up next, we have HP2 GBC Ace, right? Yes, that is the next one. Any percent New Game Plus Ace. So that has had some change. Stick around if you want to see that. But we're back after this transition.